Hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Miranda and we do all kinds of things watercolor. And we have been playing with watercolor cats a lot lately, and you're probably tired of it if you're not new. But I have a story to tell you today about this little project, so stay tuned, you're gonna like it. You guys are not gonna guess what happened. My son and I had to go run some errands in the neighboring town, a different town than the one I was telling you about the other day, and this town has a Walmart as well. And they had the paper that I was telling you guys about, the bee-inspired watercolor. So this is 140-pound paper. It's the size 9 by 12, which is the size I had been hoping for. Let's see what they feel like. Let's see what they look like. I'll go ahead and take one out. I always hate doing that first one. What I found though, on these that are glued at the top, if you treat it just like you would your Arches watercolor blocks and slide your, well, I use my ruler to get my paper off the Arches watercolor blocks. Anyway, if I slide this under like the blocks, it comes off way better. Get some color in the camera. So it has a texture, definitely like a machine texture, and the backside is super smooth. This is not cotton paper, so just because it says B, do not assume it's cotton. This one is not. The texture surface, hang on, let me find some that's not painted on from the other day. It's very similar to the surface of this paper, but of course it feels twice as thick. Bee-inspired, natural white, cold press paper, acid-free. I don't know if my printer can print a 9 by 12. Oh, we dented it, or it got dented. Oh, just that first page though. Cool. I guess we should copy our kitty over to this paper, see what we think, see if my printer can handle it, and go from there. Can't wait. Well, that was exciting and terrifying. So here's the right side of the paper, and you can see the first one ghosted that print on there, so that is not good. But it liked the back side really well. So I will test painting on the back side because it'd be great if we could do these double-sided if we use this thicker paper. Then I sent it through again, and it did pretty well this time. This is the right side of the paper. So I have a little bit of ghosting from the printer. The back side again, oh, there's the same ghosting, but it could be leftover toner from the previous mess-ups, because that one was really bad. But the back side, yeah, prints beautifully. So I don't think it likes this texture, so I'll have to play with making my printer print texture better. So let's paint on front and the back side. Cut his hat off on that one, so we'll do this one. See how it would work to do a double-sided spread. This will be so much fun. I don't know, I didn't hit record and all of that didn't record. I turned the camera on again, thought, oh, camera on is good enough, but guess what, it's not. So I have some dark color on the palette here, or the palette on the paper, and I'm being a little too messy again around the kitty, so I keep getting in his little fur. But we've got some weird stuff with the paper going on over here. Not sure what that's about, but it is all in the experimentation. So now I'm recording, I will keep painting. While I have my paint mixture over there, I want to grab this paper that we used in, well, for me, yesterday's video, Friday's video, and see, because it doesn't seem like this paper keeps the darks very well. So this is exactly like as dark as I'm using it over there. Maybe I was just having trouble mixing the Daniel Smith paints, but we'll see when that dries. Let me get like even more black in it. I got out the Himi Mia set in case you missed that on the screen there. I didn't say it before, but it was kind of shown on the screen. All right, let's see what that dries like on each of those. We're gonna do B17. B17. Since I have the right paints out, I can do that. All right, all done. Again, that glow is not that deep. Let me see if I turn the lights off or something. I don't know. It's so weird. No, that makes it 10 times worse. Well, that's what you get with cameras. Such a bummer. Anyway, we'll see how this looks when it dries. Here are the results of the first one, but you saw I did cheat and tape this one down, but it's very flat. I just let it dry on the clipboard and took the tape off. So now let's just paint on the back side, not taping it down, and see what happens at the end. But I've already decided that this is going to be the paper for us, and I will tell you why in a second. So my family and I and some friends went dirt biking in a different town yesterday than the town I got the first batch of these in. And of course they had a Walmart, and so I went in there and they did have 3 of these in stock, and I picked them up. So now I know for sure I have enough to do a coloring book run. So that's good news, but let's go ahead and test out the back side of this paper, because to make this work economically, I really need to be able to use the back side of the paper as well. So let's go ahead and paint and see what we can do. Well, that was really fun, doing different colors. Did you know that purple and that green would make this gorgeous, I don't know, turquoise? It's not teal, it's, oh, beautiful blue color, but not blue. Anyway, that would make a pretty kitty color. I wanted to try B8 like we did with this one, except I wanted to just dot the paint in. Oh, speaking of this one, so no, not taped down, and it's probably mostly dry. And look at that, that's not bad. I think that would be doable for a coloring book, especially with 30 pages, because when you fold them all flat back together, it will squish them. So I was curious when I was painting this side, because I couldn't get the paint on this paper, this is the paper from the last video, to really get dark at all, and it must have been the colors I was using, because I had the mixture on my brush for this background, and I just put it on this paper, and you can see that it got nice and dark, and it filled in all the holes of the paper really well. So it must be the fact that I was using the lunar black and the shadow violet, because, or the lamp black. I did use lunar black a few times, but lunar black, but mostly lamp black and shadow violet. And I think they're just really granulating, spreading colors. And so I guess I just wasn't getting the dark that I wanted in the background with these. This one, it wasn't too bad, but you can, like this was one application of this. I just blotted it on real quick, and it's nice and filled in compared to that, you know? Big difference. So this paper is capable of that. It's just too thin. So I'll keep the one package of this that I opened. I think there was 100 sheets in it, and maybe do a coloring book run for just colored pencil artists. And I wouldn't suggest using OMS on it. It's so, well, you could probably get away with it. I don't know. It's so thin. I wouldn't use OMS without a plastic sheet between them at the very least, knowing that it will go through on the other side. But whatever. And I'll return the other 3 that I bought, because I just don't have a use for them. But this paper's fun. So did I tell you already that the back side of this paper, it just acted like hot press paper, which is great. It's smooth, like a hot press, and that's exactly what it reminded me of working on hot press. And yeah, it's streaky and all of that, but that was also because I did a wet on dry application. If I worked faster or had a wetter bit of paint in my brush, I probably could have gotten that without streaks. And then I intentionally did some of these blooms here because I wanted to try something new. And I like the new color I tried. His hat's brown instead. He's adorable. So I suspect that this is the kitty we're going to end up with in my coloring book. And I can't wait to see what you color him in your coloring book if you get this. I'm going to put together a complete coloring book. This is going to take me all morning and probably all day and all night and stuff. It's very early in the morning right now still, so I'm going to try and scan them all. I haven't even done that step yet. Get them all done, cut out the paper, and actually put one together and bind it and see what it's like. I'm so excited and terrified for this, so wish me luck. I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Are you guys ready to see the first ever beta version of my coloring book? Here it is. Okay, this thing needs a lot of tweaking, but that's okay. I will explain what I'm explaining here. So this is the plastic binding, just cheap stuff I had at home. So I just wanted to put it on there so I could bind it and kind of get a feel for how it would be. And you guys will not be getting this. You guys will be getting a nice metal spiral binding, or I don't know if it is metal for sure, but it's a nice spiral binding that I have used before at our copy place. So it will be much nicer, but I have a cheap plastic one for now. Lots of tweaking. My printer is not printing on the rough side of the paper very well at all. Look at that. That one's really bad. It is printing on the smooth side of the paper really, really well. So I guess I could print all the smooth sides of the paper and then take it to the printers and have them print on the rough side of the paper, if they even can, because the smooth side's beautiful. The rough side is oh so sad. Secondly, or thirdly or fourthly, I can't remember which. I will be rounding the corners over here. I think that will be nice. This side probably not. And I didn't want to make two cuts and give you just this coloring book, so you have, this coloring size. So you'll have this extra space, and I thought, Kat joined us because I'm talking to you. So I thought you could use it for like testing your colors, or the best idea that I had that I would love to see you guys do is to write your own story about him. So that would be kind of cool. Give him a storyline. So that's on every page. And so I scooted this over so you would have room for the binding without getting into the picture. But I forgot when you flip the page over that extra space needs to be on this side, not this side. So I need to scoot this over on all of the even sides that way. What a mess, what a mess. So I have to figure out the rough side of the paper, scooch that over, and then you can see how light this printed, and I thought on the computer it looked fine, like the lines were just going to be okay. But this one I had to go over all the lines because when it took a picture they were just too rough. On my computer I went over all the lines, and I'm going to have to do that with all of the sketches, which makes me really sad for this one because there's a lot of lines in this one. And I thought leaving this sail line here light might benefit you, because if you were going to do a light colored sail you wouldn't have that dark line outline there, but I think I'm just going to have to go over all the lines and make them look as pretty as that one. Also, I love the sketchy outline for each thing, but I will have to edit the pictures a little so they don't go out of the edges, so I need to look at that some more. And oh man, this one took forever because I had to go over all these lines. Whew, tell ya. And then I'm leaving out the day labels, like day 8 or day 6 spirit, day 7 fan. I'm not leaving that on. I'm just taking that out so you don't have to have that. You can just color it and have whatever story you want. So I have a lot of work to do. Plus, I only got 9 pictures done, and it's all day. I only took a 20-minute break to eat lunch. That was it. So it's going to take me a long time to get the rest of the 31 sketches in. I did finish Moon, but since that was day 18, I didn't put it in here. So I'll bind the rest of them together like this for myself once I do that. And I've tried all kinds of different printer settings for this rough side of the paper, and the HP, I don't know, heavy, tough or something seems to work the best, but it doesn't work still. Oh, I'm so bummed about that. So incredibly bummed, but I'll keep playing and see what I can come up with, and when it's finally done, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, I'm not going to give you any more videos about this coloring book update except when it's done, and then when I actually color in all my sketches, I will be sharing that with you. This is it for that, and the next time you hear about the coloring book, you'll see it 100% complete. I'm so excited. It's going to take me a long time, apparently. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great day. Bye for now. So here this, I'll keep the, I can't talk. So I'm going to put the, get the tail.